it. It doesn't seem to be on any of these stations.
Keep looking.
Oh, you're going too slow. Let me take the wheel.
It's too fast. How could you even tell what's on?
I can tell.
Back.
Too late. I'm in the 40s. Gotta go around the horn. It's faster.
Wait, stop.
I look for the giant chicken!
Now, that's
Welcome back to Real, Raw, and Random podcast. This is episode 16. I'm Susan.
And I'm Jordan.
And it's been a minute. We just figured out it's been a month, right?
Yes, exactly a month.
Exactly a month. So there's just been a lot going on in that month. So what has kept you away, Jordan?
I have a new job now.
Congratulations.
Thanks. I'm really excited about it, but it is taking all of my fucking time right now. It's just because I'm training. So that I'm glad that now that I'm in my last week of training, finally, I can start having a stable schedule again. Like last night, I worked an overnight. That was fun. It's always nice to work in with like no one there, like just to get some stuff done, have some earbuds in the whole time, that sort of shit. What else have I been doing in the last month? That's really it. Like I've been thinking about some of the things that I want to do as far as like being creative is concerned, because I haven't been really flexing my like creativity muscle, and I can feel it. So I want to start making some videos again. I bought a camera. So I have to make videos or else that camera was for nothing.
Yeah.
But I was really excited about it.
It's a nice decoration.
Yeah, dead ass. That's all it is right now until I start making something. That's really it. It's just really been work that's taken me away from doing other stuff.
From life.
Yeah. Because like I'm really happy with work right now. Like the happiest I've been in a long time. Even
That's good.
like
It's important.
catching glimpses of my like self, I just keep sitting back and be like, damn, I'm in a really good mood right now. There was one day I came home and it was after work and I was so excited and I was like, what the fuck? Because I had the day off the day after, and I was telling my mom, I was like, I'm off of work and I really want to go back. Like, this is weird that I'm not, like, I'm excited to have a day off, don't get me wrong, but I'm actually really excited to go back and continue what I've been doing.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
That's when you know you are in the right place because you love what you're doing. So that's good.
Exactly.
I'm glad to hear that.
I'm excited to make some other moves too. Like the goal right now for me is to buy a house. That's the other reason why I want to start doing some content again. Hopefully get back to the place where I can start getting some like ads on my Twitch streams again, and just anything helps, because I'm really focused on buying a house right now. I want a house in my name before I turn 25, 26. I'm 23 right now, so that's the goal.
You got it.
The next year or two. What about you? What have you been having going on?
Life. What? So we said from July 17th?
July 17th.
Yeah, shit. I went out to the East Coast. I was in New York, New Jersey, and Philly, which is all the same thing. I mean, they're all like right there. But I went out. We had our production party, and then we had I had a couple days of work.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a lot of socializing with my assistant and my other coworkers, and then lunches and dinners, and then they have a conference, which is how I got on with my company to begin with, because I was one of the advisors at first. So then the conference came, and then that got busy, and so then it was like dinners and talking to them, and but in the middle of all that, I got to really go out and enjoy. Like I got there early on Saturday. Well, not that early on Saturday, but I got there on Saturday, had the production party. And then on Sunday, I drove out to Atlantic City by myself and had like the best freaking day. Like I got there, I laid on the beach for way longer than I thought I was going to. Had a couple drinks on the beach, and then went in and gambled and won some good money, and then had like the best dinner ever. And so like, it was just a good time. But here's the thing. I think I got people tired.
Oh yeah.
And I'm so used to being around so many people, and like I'm used to that energy, but I think that and I like it, but like I was at one point telling Anthony, I was like, I'm just people tired.
It's important to recharge that battery.
Yeah. Well, and I think because I work remote, I forget how much energy goes into being around people. And because I'm a talker and I'm so social anyway, I think it's just kind of like a, hey, what about this? And what about, so everybody, several of the nights they were like, are you going to stay out longer? Are you going to have another drink? Or, I'm like, no. Like one of the nights,
Pass.
yeah, one of the nights is like one of the bigger party nights that they have. They were all drinking. They were like, wait, what are you doing? I was like, I'm going back to my room. I went to the pool and I like had a little chocolate like cup of like mousse, and because Wegmans, oh god, they have the best desserts on the planet, and they're gluten-free. That's what excites me, because they're gluten-free and they're so good. Like their tiramisu that's gluten-free, holy shit, that's so good. But anyway, I went and I got that, and I just went to the pool, and I could see everybody in the party because it's like this huge hotel and the conference, so all the windows to the room that the party was in overlooked the pool, and I was just chilling in the pool, so I was just like, I'm just tired. But yeah, then just coming back from that, and then just life, just gym, church, and then all the random stuff in between. It's just basically kind of been it. Pushing ourselves in the gym, hitting new PRs, which is crazy. I think still finding that balance of like freaking out about the number on the scale, because like there were several like stuff that popped up from last year, and I was like, oh my god, my legs were so tiny, like so tiny. So I like the feeling of being strong and seeing that comparison. But yeah, I'm sure there's been a lot of other crap in between.
That's the thing.
It's a lot. It's just like so much that I think that just goes into it. One of my really good friends who is still with the company as an advisor, as a teacher, she was out there. So it was cool to get to like pick her up, because she wasn't out there the whole time. She was out there for a couple of days, but it was cool to get to pick her up. And the dynamic is different though, because like I kept saying to her, because she's just like, let's just go, and I'm like, no, I'm working. Like I'm here for work. Like, and there's a lot of flexibility that I work for a really good company, but yeah, it was. I mean, I think she's been going out there. This is probably her third time. I've been 7 years, I think. So like, I know the area, the people, the place like really, really well. There's always something new, but yeah, I mean, traveling's always fun, but
traveling is definitely always fun.
it is. It's a little bit different when you add the work element into it, I think. And like I said, for me, work is probably very different than most people. Like it is a lot of it's like a team thing. The offices I work in, they have very much like that Google vibe to it. Like you walk in, it's colorful. They've got Lego statues.
They're encouraging you to be like,
yeah, to be creative. It's a creative world. And so it would be interesting to see how you and Sammy would do around my coworkers, because the one thing that I noticed, and I don't get to see them that often, once or twice a year, if that, but the energy is so similar. And so they kept laughing at me because you guys are so used to me that I'll start saying something and then I'll forget. And then I'm like, wait, what was I talking about? And then you guys help me backtrack. Everybody I work with is like that. And everyone's just like, oh, like I was considered ADHD. And I'm like, me too. Like,
same.
Yeah, I'm like, same. And so like a lot of what we would sit there and do, we were like, I'm just looking at that. I'm like, why are you guys so similar? Because I don't have that in my day to day. Like genuinely, I don't. Like Dia and Vicky are, it's so funny. Like Dia's just like the calm to the storm. Vicky gets a little bit crazier, but the randomness that is me, they kind of laugh at it. They just kind of go with it. Whereas my coworkers, they're like that, like to a different extent. They're a little bit more calm than I am. I'm like talking to everybody and whatever, because I hate boring quietness, especially like I walked in one of the days and I think I showed up like, I don't know, maybe like an hour after, because I was at the conference. So it took me a little bit longer to get there. And so when I walked into the office, it was quiet. And then as soon as I got there, like everyone was talking, we were just talking. I'm just like, I don't get to see them that often. So that was cool. Love my new assistant. He's amazing. I got to meet him and his husband. So just good people. It was a good time, but the creative world was cool.
I bet
it's cool to see, because it's new offices from where they were last year. So it was all brand new for me. So I'm like wandering around this building and I'm like, shit, how am I going to find anybody? And then all of a sudden I hear Susan and it's my boss. He's like right behind me. He goes, I was coming to the bathroom and I just saw you. And I was like, I didn't know where the hell I was going. But I have pictures. I'll have to show you guys. The offices are pretty cool. And everyone's got like their own little space decorated. And it's all like, it's shit you and Sammy would like.
That's the thing that's kind of sick just hearing about it is like, because even with what I say about the job that I'm in now, the other goal of mine is to eventually get into something that's like, I'm creative for a living. That's my like forever goal until I get there. Because that's just, I would be really fulfilled on both ends. Like, both like with the work aspect, like I'm doing what I need to do to bring money home, obviously, but I truly really enjoy it to the fact that it's fulfilling other like needs of mine, like the need to be creative. I haven't really had that in a while. It's not a huge deal, but it's exciting to hear about that because I would love that. If I were more qualified, like on paper, I would definitely like strive towards.
Truthfully, the crazy thing is that the creative world doesn't get the credit that it deserves, which is true in a lot of professions. But truthfully, like what is done in the creative world takes so much mental energy and just thinking outside the box, and people don't understand that if they don't have that same mindset. And so I see all these people that I work with that are so incredibly talented, but I'm like, man, like your skills and your talent, like it would be amazing to see it appreciated more. But the arts, I think, are always going to be not as appreciated or understood, because if you don't do it, it's kind of like music. Like I think people will understand and appreciate music because you can make money off of it, but unless you genuinely know what goes into like writing a song, producing a song, you don't really appreciate the amount of work that goes into it.
Exactly.
And it's the same thing with the creative world. And so, yeah, I mean, I've thought about that. When I was out there, I was just like, it's kind of crazy how I got here. Like I was just sitting there and I'm like, I mean, technically my job's on the East Coast. Like the path God made for me, I would never in a million years have been like, oh yeah, I'm going to be working for this company out of the East Coast. Like that's just crazy to me. But yeah, the trip was fun. I was super tired when I got back, just exhausted and just needing that quiet time. Like I told you yesterday, I was just like, I'm not moving. And I love church. I love being there in person. But I was just like, when your body and your mind, everything just hits a wall. Like my body's just been super sore. I've been pushing it really hard in the gym and making sure to eat. This is probably the most I've eaten in years. Mm-hmm. Like I don't typically eat
Try
this
not
much.
to skip meals.
Yeah. So like, I was really, really tired. I was getting to the point where like I couldn't get through the day without taking like 2 or 3 naps. And I was like, that's not normal. And they ran all the blood panels and all this other stuff. And my doctor was like, yeah, you're really low in iron. You're anemic. So I was like, great. So then, Sammy right away was just like, we got to get you more red meat. Anthony was saying the same thing. And so like bison, oh my God, it's so good. I don't remember having bison. I know I've had it, but not like that.
I never had that before.
It's so good. And so we got bison and made stuffed bell peppers and then lentils and like spinach and just like I was telling some of my friends, I was like, because there's always people who are like, when you tell them like what the cure is for something and they're like, oh, but I don't like that. And it's like, do you like feeling like that? Because I don't like, that's not my favorite thing in the world. Like it fucking sucks. And so I was telling one of my friends that, and she's just like, oh, I don't like buffalo. Or bison. I don't like bison. I don't like this. I don't like that. And I'm like, okay, well, it's a good thing you're not anemic because
I need it.
Yeah, you wouldn't fix it. I was like, but here's the thing. I was like, if you're telling me that the fix is food, I don't have to take medicine. I don't have to get surgery. Like, what the fuck are you complaining about? And so I've been kind of hitting a wall with people on that lately where it feels like, there's so many excuses. And I know really like if you look around, I mean, I don't know what the percentages of people who are in the gym consistently versus those who are not, but I think it's a small percentage of people who genuinely like go in. And I just hear like the constant excuses, like my body doesn't like this and I don't like that, and I'm like, then find another way, because it sucks to feel sick. Like that's not fun. And like once your health is gone, and I think most people don't care about it until it's so severe and it's almost too late, and then they start bargaining. Well, now I'll do this. Oh, now you want to eat bison. Now you want to have spinach. Like now okay, I get it. Like that's not your favorite thing, but figure it out. So yeah, so that's kind of, now that's finally settled. I had a bruise on my arm for like 2 months, and my doctor was like, how long have you had that? And I was like, I think when he asked, it was like a month and a half. And then just a good solid like week and a half of like red meat and greens and eating the right stuff. I feel better. I'm not like having to take the naps in the middle of the day. So I was like, this is old people shit. Like that sucked. And I was like, that is not fun.
Speaking of old people shit, look at this fucker over there.
He's so passed out. He's tired.
He's knocked out. That's crazy.
It's because it got so hot outside.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I came over here. I was like, oh shit, I should have worn shorts today. But I knew we were going to be in here at a certain point.
Because I didn't realize it was that hot.
It was ridiculous.
I did not realize it was that hot. We had those storms blew a breaker in the garage. And so the freezer that we had in there, all the meat we had in there.
Damn, that's fucked up.
Yeah, it's about.
Speaking of the storms, like I had to I still have to get my windshield fixed because I was driving home one day. I think this was in between the last podcast and now. I was driving home one day from work and the hail was so bad. My windshield felt like it was like vibrating. It was like going like this. I was like, oh shit.
Oh, you have that crack on it too, huh?
It's like all down the windshield. The insurance company's going to pay for it. It's just taking a long time. Like, because first I had to make an appointment with the insurance company. Then I had to make an appointment with the fucking place that's going to fix it. Now I have to wait to go back to actually drop my car off to get it fucking fixed. Yep. And I'll probably have to drive a rental car for a few days, which I'm not complaining about. I kind of like it. I wanted to rent a car for the weekend recently, but it didn't end up happening. But I was hoping to like rent an electric car and drive up to Denver and stay with
Yeah.
And but it just didn't end up happening. But that's still, I would like to do that soon once we're both
So why
off.
would you rent a car, just for fun?
Yeah, just for fun, just to make it like even more different and special.
Yeah. Oh, that's cute. I like that you think about that.
Yeah,
Think outside that box.
I'm trying. Ugh, it's hard.
You're like, relationships are so hard. I mean, I think that I love that you're putting that effort in, because I know it's difficult for you guys with your time right now. I mean, schedules, it sucks.
It sucks ass.
But the effort, I hope she recognizes that and sees it. It's there, even though the actual thing didn't happen. Like, I hope that she recognizes that, because it's a lot.
Because we talked about it, and it's still like the plan eventually. But I didn't tell her about the rental car part. That was just gonna be a surprise. Like, hey, like this is.
Yeah, I'm picking you up.
It's just fun. Shit. Like, yeah, it just sounds like fun. Like, just to make it different, you know.
Yeah.
But that's the goal one day. Soon, hopefully, and then just to, especially like now that I'm getting paid just a little bit more. And I have a little bit more freedom with my schedule because I'll start writing it here soon. Then I could be like, okay, I'm going to take a 3-day weekend or something. Then I'll just pick her up for the weekend. We'll go stay the night in Denver. Yeah. Like, I want to stay far, like into Denver, like a couple hours away. Probably even farther, just anywhere, a nice hotel that's a couple hours away, that's totally disconnected from the people that we know. So we have our own like little vibe. If we could get an Airbnb, that would be better, because I'd still like to like get groceries and cook for her and do.
So go up to like Breck.
Probably. I want to go far.
If you want to be away from people, go to Breck. Or
yeah.
I mean, I was gonna say that. I don't know. Aspen's overrated.
Either way, it's just going.
Salida.
Yeah, just going up far. That's the plan. Like, I've told her like little bits and pieces. I'm being more specific now, and I know she watches these, so she'll be like, "Oh, that sounds fun." But yeah, that's the goal. It's just hard, like I said, with the time right now. But we'll we'll get there. We'll make some fun
I think
stuff
it's
happen
just
soon.
about that communication piece. I think that sometimes I'm a firm believer in this, that God is like, you still need to work on yourself and you need to like take the time for yourself. And as long as you guys can still be okay with that, like still being together but being separate, you guys will be fine.
And that's
it's
the
hard.
thing, that it's hard, but I like that. I like that it feels like that, is the fact that it's okay.
It's safe.
Like
Yeah.
I feel secure in the fact that like we got our own shit going on, but it's still the same
Right.
like energy
Right.
that we have for each other. It doesn't feel like it's dwindled. It just sucks that I haven't seen her in a couple weeks.
Right.
But
Well, and sometimes you just have to reflect on like what is this teaching me? Why is it like this
Mm-hmm.
right now? And not like why isn't a complaint, but as in what am I supposed to learn from
Just
this? And
recognizing
I
it.
think that most people don't realize that it's like, in that time, you have somebody, and even if you don't, right? Even if you don't have somebody, it's like, what are you doing with your time other than wishing that you had somebody next to you or that you had that person next to you? Like if you're building and you're growing while you're apart, when you come together, you're both going to be so much stronger. You're going to be so much better. And I think that's the bigger goal. Cause I hear a lot. I mean, we always talk about the male, female, problems where, women are like, oh, if he wanted to, he would. Well, sometimes he can't, or sometimes she can't. You know what I mean? It's like,
That's
it's
the
not
thing.
if he wanted to, he would. Cause I hear that all the time and I'm like, that's not how that goes.
It's not.
I'm like, I'm sorry, but here's the thing. Like at the end of the day, like men, you guys are very different. You guys are very like, I think you guys are more like just factual. You're just kind of black and white. You guys are like, oh, I've got to do my laundry. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. Like you guys know what you need to do. Whereas girls are like, oh, he'd rather do his laundry instead of hanging out with me. Yes, he needs to have clean clothes.
That's the thing that
You want him to walk around looking like shit, smelling
Yeah.
like shit, because that's not cute. And I guarantee you, if he picked you up in some crusty ass clothes, you would have an issue with it. So why do you have a problem with him taking care of himself? Like, don't you want a man? And I had this conversation not long ago. Like, don't you want a man who you feel safe in, that he is going to take care of his business? He's going to handle his business. And then when he gets a chance, he's going to come back and he's going to talk to you. Like, he's still present. He's still there. Just not in the way that you exactly want it to be right now. But maybe it's not your will. And this is not how it's supposed to be right now. And you have to be okay with that. And if you're not, you're making yourself fucking miserable for no reason.
And my opinion on that too is like what I've experienced in previous like relationships or just talking stages that I've been in is the fact that it's like, okay, that energy, like if you wanted to, you would come over and hang out with me more, or you would make more time for me. But it's like genuinely, I might work a job where I don't know what my schedule is going to be.
Yeah.
Like when I was working in sales for a while, I didn't know what my schedule was going to be. It wasn't always the same because you had to bid on your schedule. Like,
Oh, jeez.
we had calls like every like other week. We would all jump on the call earlier in the morning, and based on how much sales you brought in, you would go in order of, okay, so just like filling in the schedule is like, okay, so you made the most sales this month, Jordan, for example. And it's like, okay, what days do you want
That's
off?
crazy.
And it's like, okay,
It's incentivized work, huh?
I'll do Saturday off this week. Shit like that. And then if you wanted to like get around it, if you weren't doing that great or you needed to pick up some more shifts, because towards the end when I left, I wasn't selling shit. I had like 3 days off every week because it was ridiculous. And it's like if I wanted to pick up a shift, it's like, well, you can ask somebody to pick up their shift if they want to give it up and give it to you. You could share some commissions. But I knew I was getting ready to leave. I was like, fuck you guys. I'm just finna sit at a desk all day and play video games. That's what I did towards the end. The last couple of weeks I was there, I just played video games
Like,
at my
just
desk.
done.
But I say that to say it's just shit like that that pisses me off, or that has made me like very upset in the past. It's like if I could, I would, but I can't right now, and I need you to understand that. Like even I've been in situations where it's been worse, like the worst I could think of, where it's total opposite schedules. Like someone that works only nights, late at night, like overnight shifts, and I work early as hell in the morning. So she sleep while I'm at work, and then I'm getting ready to go to sleep while she's at work.
Yeah.
So it's like, and then we had total opposite days off. I had weekends and she had like weekdays. I'm like, we could come have lunch together, and that wasn't enough. It's like, okay, I'm trying, but
That's what I'm saying.
You're not willing to budge a little bit.
I think
so
that's
go
the
fuck
piece
yourself.
that's the piece that is I've seen that's so prevalent, and that saying is so toxic. I mean, it's a lot of these things that get repeated without any real background knowledge of it, where I'm like, I watched my dad. I had my dad, he passed away when I was 16, but I got to see him up until I was 16 years old. And I saw how hard he worked to provide. I'm sure there was so many things I have no clue about that he did to sacrifice for his family. He adopted my 2 older brothers. Then they had me and my sister. Like, I tell everyone, like, we grew up poor. We just didn't know it. But my dad handled business. My mom was really good with money and finances. So was my dad. But like, my dad used to literally take his vacation time and cash it out and work during his vacation so that he can make more money. And so that statement drives me crazy, because I'm like, it's not always about you. Like, I think if people stopped making everything about themselves, like, it would save so much bullshit and like their little heartache and whatever, because the whole, oh, he just doesn't want to spend time with me, he just doesn't want to be with me type of stuff. And it's like, it's not always it. I mean, if he doesn't want to be with you, I'm sure, I mean, I don't know, like, as a guy, would you like just carry somebody, like string them along just out of boredom?
No, that's the other thing too that I've explained to like women that I've been with. It's like, if I didn't want this to work, I would not be wasting my time right now. Because wasting my time is also wasting your time. I get that, but why would I want to do that? What's the point?
And there are some guys who will do that, and girls too.
And I get that.
There are some, but I think that a lot of what I see is like, people will be like, oh, so and so such a good guy, blah blah blah, whatever. And they had posted about him online, and they were wanting to know like information about him or whatever. And then they're like, oh, on that Facebook? Every single message was, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. He's this, he's that. He's such a good father. He just wants a relationship. There were seriously probably about 20 women who all said the same thing. Like, he's such a good man. He's such a good guy. But then none of them would give him the time of day. So I was like, so who's at fault here then? Like, you complain that there are no good men, and granted, dating is hard. It is hard. But when you put yourself in that mindset and you're like, there's no good men, and then everybody's like, he's such a good guy, he's so this, he doesn't look ideal, like, he's not the best looking man, but like, I'm sorry, like, some of these women need to just be like, suck it up, because like, you're saying he's a good guy and he's good to you, but you're not interested in him because of why? Like, I don't know. So anyway, I think that's a really negative. It's so popular right now, though. Why are you laughing?
Oh, because I just thought of something. I thought of a that reminded me of a topic of this video that I was listening to, because it was about because usually you like ever hear where women are like, oh, there's no good men around, I'm just gonna start dating girls.
Always, yeah.
I was watching this video, and the topic of the day was I gotta find the exact wording of it, but pretty much like, have you ever, like, has your wife or girlfriend ever left you for another woman? And it was so interesting to hear, because it was like a lot of that idea is like, there's no good men around, I'm just gonna date a girl. And it's like, no, you just wanted to. And
that world isn't any different from what I hear either. You're still finding people who are going to cheat and lie and manipulate and waste your time. I think if people stopped looking for the one and started to make themselves be better, then they would just naturally attract better. Like, what do they say? Stop looking for the one and be the one. Be the person that you want your future husband to be proud to have on his arm. Be the man that you want your future wife, if that's what you want. But
oh yeah,
be the person that you want. That was thunder, huh?
Yeah, I told you I was gonna rain. This was the topic. It says, has your wife ever cheated on you with a stud?
Would that be worse for you if you got cheated on with a man?
That's why I think that question is so interesting. And the reason, okay, here's my opinion on it. It's not necessarily how I personally feel, but I get the feeling. Is I think a lot of the time men have such a problem with that more than they would if their wife left them for another man, is because you know that woman has something that you will never have, because men make it a lot of time about like sex, and it's like, well, she doesn't have like, we can't do the same thing. This is supposed to be like the man and the woman, we're built for each other, like that sort of thing. That's how men think. And then their woman leaves them for another woman, and it's like, damn, like it's just more depressing. I see a lot of guys go through. I've never experienced it, God forbid, heaven forbid, damn. But it's just so interesting to see. It's just kind of funny. It's like it's just that inner conflict of a man is like, yeah, damn, she left for another girl. Like, it wasn't even another guy. It wasn't a guy that had more money than me. It wasn't nothing. Like, men make it about like surface level shit, and then it's like, nah, she just left for another girl.
And I think if it was as a female,
and that's what they asked some women too. It's like some women called into the radio station. They were like, yeah, actually my husband left me for another man. And it's like, that must be a fucked up feeling, because there's so much wrapped into that. It's like, you lied to me about your identity, you lied to me about your feelings for me, potentially. Like, have you ever felt the same for me, or were you just trying to cover up like how you felt inside? Were you just trying to hide your real emotions? And then on the opposite end, you can't really be mad at that person, because they're choosing to be themselves finally after so long of not being themselves. It's like, damn, you I guess you're gay now. Good for you. Thanks. Good job for coming out.
I think the difficulty in it would be just the lie.
That's the biggest thing, is the lie.
That's what would be difficult. It's like, all right, if you want to be with a man, go for it. Like, live your life. But, and I've always said this, like, allow me to have a choice. Don't choose for me. I know what you're laughing at. It's like, don't choose for me.
Do you?
I think so.
What am I laughing at?
Is it somebody that... Oh, okay.
I was just laughing. I just think the situation's funny.
You think
Have you had that specific thing happen to you before?
Not verifiable, no. But for sure, like, it was questionable where, like, there was somebody I dated years ago that I was just like, there was always like that wall that like guard him. And
look at Sammy.
Yeah, Sammy's like, what?
Who?
And I did call him out on it.
Are you gay?
I did. But you know what? I only said that to him because he started being an asshole to me for no reason. And like, so then I won't even go into like what happened or what he said, but he would have these moments where he was super, super nice.
Uh-huh.
And he was really good. Like, if we were shopping, or like we were looking at shoes, or we were like at a costume place, and I'm like, this dude likes some random shit. Like, and then like I just started to piece things together, and I was like, because I tend to have a lot of like gay people who like to be around me. Like, okay. I just like, I do. I mean, like, Tyler's one of my best friends, and like, you know what I mean? Like, he's gay, and like, and there's a lot of people in my life like that I'm very, very close to that are gay. And so
that you think are gay.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I don't know. They say, and I know this is more of a like a fuck you kind of a thing, but they're like, a man who continues to fumble every single woman in his life is because he doesn't want a woman, he wants a man. And I question that with because there were some weird things that would come up that I'd be like, you've literally screwed over every woman in your life. You have treated them like shit. You literally said that you define women in two categories, as whores or as good women. And there's no in between for you. Mm-hmm. And like, you treat whores a certain way, and you treat the good women another way. Like, you treat good women badly, and the whores, you give them the attention and what they want. It was weird. It was bizarre. None of it made sense to me. But then in that, I'm like, then there's a mental thing, but maybe it's just because he wants what's in between these guys' legs.
Yeah, glizzies.
I mean, maybe that's just the long and short of it. Well, because too, like I can't say, other than the other person who I thought was gay who I dated, the guys I date don't try to compete with me. Like they typically like when I am in a relationship with somebody, like they like that I dress up, that I wear heels, that I like, but it's never I look better than you. Or like, no, this is what would happen constantly. Like I would come out ready, or I would like show up to his house ready, and he'd look at me and he'd be like, really? And I'd be like, what?
Really gonna wear that?
No, but he wasn't doing it judgmentally. He was just like, really? And I'm like, what? And he's like, I need to go change because you look better than me. And I'm like,
you look so fucking hot right now. I wish I could.
No, he never said that to me.
That's so fucking funny.
There were a couple times he'd be like, you look beautiful. Or like one time,
you look gorgeous.
It was weird. He goes, oh no, this is what he said to me. It took him a minute to say anything. He didn't say it in front of like the people that we had initially seen or whatever. And everybody was just like, oh my gosh, you look so good. You look so nice. And then we get out the car and he walks around and he like hugs me and he gives me a kiss, and he's literally walking away.
He's like,
and he goes, he looks at me and he goes, you look fabulous. And I was like,
hey, God, okay. God forbid, put yourself in a woman's shoes. You were dating a guy and he calls you fabulous. What the fuck is that?
Well, then I looked at him and I go, what? And then he goes, you look fabulous. And I was like, and the reality is that he wasn't very complimentary. We've talked about this, where he was more so always trying to pull me down. Always trying to, like, he'd be like, oh, like he would tell people she's good at clothes. Like she knows how to dress. She dresses well. Like I know anywhere we go, she's going to be the best dressed, this and that, blah, blah, blah. But then in that very same breath, it'd be like, oh, but this and but that. And I'm like, why can't you just be proud of the fact that you have somebody that other people are like telling you? Like we would be out at dinner and the waitress would come up and be like, you're so pretty. Or somebody would be like, oh my gosh, look at you and your beautiful date. And he would just kind of be like, well, she's not very nice.
Like, I'm beautiful too.
She's that. Yeah, no, literally, like just kind of weird shit. But yeah, I mean, there have been a couple that I've been like, hey, you just want to get bent over.
Oh my God.
And like, that would probably make you a little bit happier in life, but
getting bent over.
But yeah, I think for me, it would be more, it's the lie. It's the lie. Just like if you're being cheated on, like in general, but like it's a lie.
Yeah.
And my biggest pet peeve in life is being lied to. I can't stand that shit because I will give you more grace than anybody. If you just are honest with me, you're like, hey, this and this happened. I'm so sorry. Like this was not how it was supposed to go. I'll be like, cool, let's fix it. Let's figure it out. But when you're lying to me and you're not giving me a choice, like you're so selfish that you're hanging on to me and you're making me believe something that's not true to benefit you, fuck you. Mm-hmm. That's where I'm at. And I've told, everybody knows this about me. I used to tell when I would teach, I'd be like, there are two things that are going to piss me off is if you lie to me and if you think you're better than others and you're cocky. I will cut you down quick because there's always going to be somebody better than you. Always.
Damn, I feel like you used to say that like on the first day of school.
I did.
That's crazy.
I used to say that all the time because I was like, let me be transparent. These are the things that bother me. If you say stupid shit, I don't care. It's funny. Like, I think that stuff is funny. If you are going to, like, if you're learning or you're going through a process and you don't know something, I'm not going to be mad at you. I'm going to help you. But if you lie to me to my face, especially when I already know the truth, fuck you. Mm-hmm. Fuck you. Like, that's a whole other special level of like, and I've told everyone, I'm like, the minute I find out you lie to me, I can't look at you the same anymore. Like, there's a wall that goes up. I'm big on honesty because I will always be honest. Like, if you flat out ask me something, I may not want to answer it, but I'm going to be like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I did. I stole from
I did. I'm sorry. Like, it wasn't my best moment, but yes, I did. And I've been honest in every situation. And I think that sometimes that works against me because then people know exactly what buttons to push. They know how to get me. But I'm like, I serve a great God who always shows me exactly what happened.
Do you get embarrassed easy?
No. Do you?
Yeah, actually.
Do you?
Yeah.
You get secondhand embarrassment for people a lot, huh?
Yeah, that's it.
I do, but not as much as you do. Because I've seen you. Jalen gets really bad
You
secondhand
have seen me
embarrassment.
get secondhand-
I've seen you have secondhand embarrassment for people.
yeah,
Where you're
cringe.
like, don't. Yeah, Jalen's like you. Me, I'm just kind of like, this is kind of funny. It's so they dragged me downtown the other night. Well, last week I think it was. They dragged me downtown. I was like laying in bed and they're like, hey, we're going to go take pictures downtown for Jalen's birthday. Do you want to come? And I was like, I guess. I was just like laying there. My hair's all jacked up. I was just tired. And so then I get they've been laughing at me lately because I've been walking around with my Coke Zero can. And you know how like those older like uncles and grandpas, they walk around with their little can. That was me. And I did not let it go like the entire time. It was funny as hell. So I'm like holding on to it. And I've got my crossbody with my snacks, my little fruit roll-ups or whatever. And we were just like walking around downtown and I was like, guys, I'm hungry. So we went to Legal Pete's. Can't go wrong. You know how it is there. Like it's people watching, right? So we go and they have that whole back end closed off because it was decently late. I mean, we were walking through those alleys pretty fucking late. And I was like, you guys are fucking dumb. I was like, this is crazy. Like, and I was not fully there. So I was just like, whatever, I'm just going to follow them. It was funny. So we're sitting at Illegal Pete's. And as soon as we go sit at the tables, like right by the bar, I turn and there's these two guys sitting at the actual bar. We're sitting at the high tops. And I texted the girls and I was like, I'm not in the right frame of mind right now to say anything to these dudes, but they're going to say something. I was like, when their dinosaur ass looking selves turn around and say something to us, I'm not going to say anything. And they both just kind of looked at me like, what the? And I was like, all right, whatever. And so all of like 5 minutes passed and all of a sudden, excuse me. And both girls, because they were facing the guys. I was facing opposite. I was watching the TV. And so they're like, excuse me. And both girls were like, yes. And then they go, do you guys drink? And then both of them started giggling and they're like, no. And then I'm sitting there dying laughing, okay? I'm just like, I'm dead. And they're both looking at me like, do something, say something. I'm like, oh, fuck you, dude. I told you guys, because when I get to a certain point, like there's just no filter. And there was no filter that night. So I was like, let me just shut my mouth because I'm going to say something stupid. And so then we were laughing so hard. And then Billy and Jalen were like, all right, let's just go. And then I was like, I'm good. Like, let's go. So we're walking out and I was like, and they're like, you didn't help us. You didn't say anything. And I go, there's one regret I do have. And they're like, what? And I was like, I regret letting you guys get hit on for your first time or get a drink offered to you for your first time by the two ugliest dudes I've seen sitting at a bar. And they're like, that's so messed up. And I was like, I told you guys it was going to happen. They're like, how did you know? I'm like, it's a very obviously, like it was very, very clear that their attention was there right away. So we were laughing about that. And then Millie had on the backpack that has the camera. She had on the backpack and she had on a pink shirt with her just like
looking like Dora.
Yes. I'll have to show you. If I had my phone on me, I would show you. Pink shirt with her jeans and her Crocs with all her charms on them. And then I go, first of all, what made them think to even ask if we wanted drinks? I was like, you look like you're 12 years old.
You look like Dora,
yeah,
bitch.
She's standing there and she goes, yeah, why are they messing with me? Look at me. I got my Crocs with my charms on them. And she's like moving her feet. And I'm like, oh, because she looked 12. She looked 12 and Jalen was like in a black dress. So I'm like, they probably didn't know what the fuck was happening. People always think I'm like their mom and they're my daughters. Or they think I'm the aunt. Like there's always like or they just don't know. They question it, but they're like, and I'm like, that's kind of ballsy to be like, let me hit on these girls in front of, if they thought I was the mom.
Underage.
Yeah. And I was like, and everyone, then they're hitting on you. I was like, you look like fucking Dora. That shit was funny though.
That is hilarious.
Yeah. I was like, you guys got offered a drink for the first time at Illegal Pete's by two of the ugliest dudes. I was like, that's so sad.
Yeah.
Which I didn't want them. I told them I didn't want them to laugh at them because that's always mean. I was like, you just say, no, thank you. Oh, no, thank you. We're not of age.
But they laughed at him?
Yeah, they were like, hey, no, we don't drink. Yes, I get that. But like, just say thank you. And I was not in the mood to give a lesson that night. I was just like, I'm just going to let you guys handle this the way they do.
Let's see.
Because both of them are literally just staring at me like, and I'm like, what? Like, what do you want me to do? I mean, I'm like, I know how to handle those situations. But my issue is I would have turned around and I would have said, I wouldn't have been rude to them, but I would have started.
You know how to navigate that situation.
Right. But I also, to be fair, I forewarned them. I told them that was going to happen. Like, it's in the group chat, like the text messages in there where I was just like, just know I'm not in the right frame of mind to say anything to these guys when they turn around and offer us drinks because it's going to happen. They're like, I was like, told you. I saw that shit coming, but.
The reason I asked that question is because of what you said about like about lying, and like if somebody asks you a question, if you don't want to admit it, you'll probably like you'll admit it still, and that made me think about embarrassment in general, because like I get embarrassed really easy, like and over small shit. Like I'm one of those people that if something could have happened like years ago and it'll just randomly attack me at any moment, like
you still think about
the memory of it. Like recently we had this thing in the training that I'm doing. We had all of the people that are in the same position as me or in similar positions that me all at one store, and we were just all trying to like do the same job. I told you about that.
Yeah.
And we were just all working together for the day. And at the end of the day, like go to give me a handshake. At the end of the day, I was like, this guy that I used to work with was like, okay, I'll see you later. And I went to go like this, but he was like gonna give me a fist bump. So I was like, oh. And I fucking thought about that. That was like
bothered you that much?
I thought about that until I went to bed that night, dude. I was like, what the fuck? I fucking said, I'm a fucking dumbass. I'm a fucking idiot.
Do you know what's funny? Idiot. I was actually just thinking about a video I saw where this guy was in a Catholic church, and I think I don't know if he was getting his confirmation. He was getting something, but he was at the front with the priest, and the priest had done like the communion or whatever, and then the guy's standing on the side, and then the priest goes like this to like do the prayer, and then the guy goes over to go high five him in front of everybody. I was like, so that's what that reminded me of.
See, like,
and he's just like, oh shit.
See, and that's kind of funny, but I have like awkward moments that like, even I'm one of those people that like when you go to the movies and they're like, oh, okay, enjoy your movie, and I'm like, you too, and I'm like, oh, you fucking stupid ass idiot, dumb fuck. It's like shit like that embarrasses me, or like genuinely like bigger shit that it's like, oh my god, everybody's gonna think I'm stupid. They're gonna think I'm fucking dumb. That's the reason why I asked that question, is because that's such a prevalent thing to me. And recently, I've just been thinking about it now that I'm like in a totally different world as far as my job is concerned. Like, this is something that I pretty much have zero experience with. I'm familiar with the territory that I'm in, but zero experience with. And there's been a lot of moments where it's like I've had to let go of my ego, because I'm one of those people. I do like to know things. I like to be the one in the room that if you ask a question.
Is it hailing?
Is that what that noise is? Damn.
You can go move my car, put your car into the garage if you want. You better hurry. Don't hit anything.
And don't let...
Taco, stay. Ooh.
That's scary. But
this sounds small.
It better be, because I just fucking... Didn't I just fucking talk about hail?
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
It sounds small.
But, yeah, it's just I've had to let go of my ego, because I'm one of those people. It's like I don't want to ever seem like a know-it-all, but I do want to feel like confident and damn. That's insane.
That just got loud.
I can hear that in my headphones. Wow, that's crazy.
I don't know if he's gonna be able to move it.
I mean, he'll be able to move it. It's not gonna be fun, but he'll be able to move it.
My car's already damaged.
Yeah, fuck it, right? But that's just crazy. It's hard to it's hard to keep going.
I know, because it's so loud. I think I used to care a lot more what people thought about me.
Like
especially when I was a teacher, because like you have to put a certain like persona out, and like I realized that the further away I've gotten from education, the more and the better people I have around myself, the more I'm just okay with being who I am.
And I like that feeling too. Like, that's why these last couple weeks that I haven't seen y'all has been like, I'm having a good time at work and stuff. Don't get me wrong, but it has been weird. Is because I feel like I've had that same feeling. The more that we like,
Did you hear him?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Sammy goes,
Is that him crying up there?
"Are
like
you
an
good?"
old man?
Did you fall?
Is it bad?
Did you move your car?
I wish
Oh.
I wish I could take the camera and fucking just record that shit. Let's pause for a second.
Yeah, I just want to see.
Now we're recording again.
We're back. You can't tell, but I am soaking wet. Not my shirt. Shockingly, I think it's because I sat in the seat. So, the hail we stopped for was
It was
fucking crazy. Sammy was kind of caught. The garage door wouldn't close because the trash can fell over and was blocking the thing. So by the time I got out there, there was shit ton of
It looked like a
hail.
fucking tornado was going on. It was
my
nuts.
garage was insane. So yeah, I'm soaking wet. Sammy got hit, so now I gotta watch him because he got hit hard. Like that welt is pretty bad. And then Jordan was dancing once it settled down.
Okay.
He's like, I kind of like this. He's like, I'm wet too, but it's my own fault.
Because the rain
It
was
was all
like,
misty.
it was nice towards the end, but yeah,
It's a little bit.
we had to sweep all that fucking ice out the garage.
Yeah, there was a lot of it was a lot of ice. Lot of ice. So anyway, all is well. Hail damage for sure on cars, all of them. Just drying things out, and so I think we're gonna call it a day.
Yeah. On that note,
we're gonna
done.
call it. We're gonna call it good. But definitely hail damage, which sucks always. And now we're tired and soaking wet. So
Yeah, you see how much I'm yawning. Oh my god.
yeah. So anyway, we'll be back at some point. We'll figure this out. Hopefully here in the next week or so. But because I'm leaving again tomorrow. But yeah. So as always, much love. We appreciate your guys' support. Hopefully everybody who's local to us stayed safe and didn't have a ton of damage because it was pretty
That was
crazy.
bad.
Yeah.
That was the worst I've seen it in a
In a
few
while.
years.
Yeah. So hopefully everything is good and everyone's okay. We get to assess where everyone is here in a minute once we log out. But so yeah.
Sounds good. If you're watching this, if you made it to the end, thanks again. We appreciate you. Just make sure to like, subscribe, and comment on this video. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or anywhere else that you get your audio podcast, give us a 5-star rating. Let us know what you think of the podcast either way, no matter how you're getting the podcast. We'd really appreciate it if we could hear your thoughts and opinions, ideas, mainly. For what you want to see us do next. We really appreciate it. We will see you guys in the next one. We love you very much. Bye.
Bye.